Okay, so the main thing, as we can pretty much clearly see on these two images now, was setup. You were kind of hunched there, pelvis kind of leveled off, quite a lot of knee flex there. Made it very difficult if you sort of get to the ground then, get a good posture. Meant the club was going to be a little bit sort of upright. Generally create that sort of pushy, cutty one, okay? Now with the longer clubs, because the angle of the shaft is going to be slightly flatter because they're just longer, you're further from the golf ball, we're trying to create kind of a 90-degree angle there, but you can see you're pretty much within that kind of window, should we say. It's not exactly at 89 degrees or 88 degrees, we're still happy with that, okay? But compared to where it was on here, I mean, the angle of from your hips to your shoulders there now, and then that shaft there, not really anywhere near where we want to be, okay? So getting yourself in a better posture from the hips to the shoulders, through that shaft angle there. Now, the key thing, once you were set up better, was to remember to move the body. You were spending quite a lot of time the first few swings getting your spine angle and your hips in that position, and then thought, right, I'm good now, I can't move, and just stayed there and lifted the arms up. So that's going to be something I think you sometimes fall into the trap, and that might have been the case when you were playing those sort of back-to-back pars. You got a bit like, oh, I can't hit a bad shot, so I don't want to move too much. And then the next swing becomes a bit armsy, and then the shot then curve off to the right there, or you miss it in some way, shape or form. So making sure we turn that right side out of the way. So club going back nicely now. Top of the backswing, really, really good position there now. Club coming back down, nicely through, decent plane. Slightly steeper than the perfect plane would suggest, but certainly not over the top or any problems there. But because you're slightly above plane, you hit a slight fade, yeah? Someone who was slightly, we call under plane, would hit a slight draw. But you just play to your tendencies rather than sort of reinvent the swing. If you were coming too steep, then we say, yeah, okay, you're too far over, now we've got to fix it. But as long as you're in that window, yeah, that's absolutely fine. So that sort of plane that obviously Hogan was talking about ages ago with a pane of glass, as long as you're kind of in somewhere there, you're fine, yeah?
If I was more to 90 degrees, because let's face it, even then I wasn't at 90
yeah,
degrees.
exactly, yeah. I would say yes, in theory, yes. However, do you feel comfortable going even more again? Is your back going to...
at this moment.
Exactly. I mean, you think where you went to, quite a big change, okay? But I think to go any more so would probably be struggling with the balance there where the feet need to be, and just having that sort of flexibility in the pelvis to sort of tip forward that much. That to me is certainly in a very good position for you and enables you to do some things we want to do in terms of rotate the body on the way back. Okay, you get to a good position here now, and we can get the ball starting just left of target and hitting that kind of shape of shot. So you're able to play golf from that position very successfully, yeah, rather than trying to adjust on this left-hand side to some sort of movement that you had there. But I think I wouldn't worry about trying to get any sort of flatter or any more over the ball. Certainly today, I mean, where you are there is absolutely fine. I mean, you can see just from the two positions, you're a lot better on the right-hand side. I think it helps your body rotate. And now from there, just making sure you sort of commit and start it a bit left of target rather than just right of target. And don't think that by aiming left of target, you're kind of quitting or admitting the fact you're a slicer. You're not slicing the ball, you're fading it 5-10 yards. Well, as I said, the straightest shot in golf's the hardest shot, so let's try and make sure we play for a sort of specific movement.
I've got a good finish position, but I'm not sure it was poetic reaching there.
I don't think it was.
Watch the wobble.
There's a bit of a, I mean, you can see your right foot's really kind of fighting your balance there, but generally speaking, it's not horrendous follow-through position. It's a decent movement. There's a good rotation through the ball. The pelvis, the hips, the shoulders, all that rotation's good. Just maybe a little bit on the back foot slightly, which is why this foot's a bit as it is there. But yeah, generally speaking, I say it was all right compared to... Let's not look at that one again. All right? Okay, Simon, makes sense?
No, thank you.
Good stuff, very good.